we're doing a month update of us leaving our previous apartment. So as you guys might have seen, Anwan did a video, some videos about living in a house, videos. And we thought it would be a really good idea. Well, I thought it would be a great idea for Anwan to do an update because a lot of you guys who watched the video about the video he did about the difference between, like, I think you said, like, living in an apartment versus a house or something like that, and the type of people who should live in an apartment versus in a house. You guys may want to see something a bit different about, like, how do we feel about being in a house now that we've been here a month. We didn't do it any earlier because, I mean, doing it any earlier, it wouldn't have been a complete like phase in my opinion. But a month is pretty cool. So I didn't even know it's been a month. But what I can tell you from my particular perspective um, is that a house is great. The good thing about being in a house is that you can get sleep when you want to. So to tell you a little backstory about our previous apartment, which was apartment 16, was that at that apartment, if I wanted to take a nap during the day, I couldn't do it because the guy upstairs, he would be stomping around, creaking and popping the floor above our bedroom, and so it would be nearly impossible to do that. The only way I could try to get a nap would be if I put earplugs in, and I would dread it if the earplug fell out because I didn't want to hear him. So it was really annoying to have to put earplugs in and things like that. I went through the thing where I had to put, I think I had to do an ear irrigation, basically where wax built up on my ear where I could not hear, and it affected me when I went to work, where I could not hear out of one ear, but I was able to hear out of the other and stuff. Luckily, we were able to find a video on YouTube where we were able to do irrigation with water, which was more beneficial. If you do find that you have wax buildup, most people would go to the hospital and get an irrigation. And I did have to do that when I was in apartment 1 that we lived in, which was the previous apartment to apartment 16. And that wasn't fun. It was something where I was scared to death that I was not going to be able to hear again or anything like that, with all the wax buildup in my ear and stuff like that. And it was pretty sucky. I was glad I went to the hospital and got it taken care of, but of course, going to the hospital, you're not going to like the bill that you get from it. That's why when it came time and I got wax buildup in my ear again, then it was good that we were able to do it on a more cheaper thing by using water, which I thought was pretty cool to do, and it cleared up my ear and stuff like that. And I wasn't the only one that was dealing with ear issues because Anwan was having issues with his ears, where his ears were hurt because he was always putting the earplugs in. And for him, he couldn't hear the guy very much at all. Me, I have an issue with my ear where one of them is smaller than the other on the inside. So it was headache for him to put the earplugs in for me and things like that. But I'm actually glad now because we don't have to put earplugs in our ears or anything like that to go to sleep. We can just drift off to sleep and things like that. And it's cool. Like, there are some nights where I just kind of just pass and go to sleep, because I'm really tired and stuff. And I'm able to do it in a house, which is really great. So no earplugs, yay! So that's pretty cool. Not to have to do that. I have not even looked for any earplugs. Okay, I went past the earplugs when I was in Walmart, but I didn't have a need to pick them up. So that's really awesome. That's one cool thing about being in a house. Another thing is that in terms of neighbors being annoying, the update to that is that we do have neighbors, but our neighbors live in houses. So the difference there is that, yeah, there might be people who do annoying things, like be outside talking loud or cutting their grass, or there being dogs next door. But by and large, that tends to clear itself up because the people actually leave. So, like, they leave and go in the house. So it's not really that big of a deal. People take their dogs, they go in the house, and people go in the house and stuff like that. They're not just hanging out and everything like that. So we get an aspect of privacy rather than in the apartment where people be walking past our door and listening to the wall to see if we're in the kitchen, or and the guy upstairs listening to see what room we were in, following us in every room and everything like that. In a house, we don't have that problem. If somebody was on our roof, then they will be having a problem because there's no upstairs to here. It's just basically everything's on all one floor in our house with the exception of the basement. But yeah, we're not having to share, any walls with anybody or anything like that, which is really refreshing. We get our privacy, and I mean, it's good. It's nice. Another thing that's nice about the quiet is that we can actually have a meal and we can sit down and eat dinner. We're going to be eating dinner soon here, some Chinese food, and we've actually been able to choose what we want to do. So in our apartment before, when it came to the guy upstairs, we used to have to turn on the TV up really loud, play YouTube videos really loud, try to play meditation music really loud, things like that, just to try to drown out the people at our apartment. And now we don't have to do that. We basically do stuff when we want to. I haven't had the need to turn on the TV, so I haven't had to do that. If I want to, I can, but I don't have to. And we do still watch YouTube videos and watch YouTubers we're interested in, so we still do that. But we listen at a volume that we want to listen to it at. And also, if we want to have a nice, quiet dinner, then we can actually have a nice, quiet dinner. And we've had several nights where, even if today, if we want to, we can have a nice, quiet dinner. I remember I told Anwan, I said that, when we get a house, I told him, I'm like, we're going to have, we're going to be able to have a nice, quiet dinner, nobody bothering us or anything like that. And we really haven't been bothered. I mean, we did hear somebody, like, next door with music, but it wasn't, it was something we can hear them, but we turn on the air conditioner, we can't hear them. So that's something, I think that's a big improvement. And we can run around a house, play in the house, and there not be an issue. Another great thing too now is I can work from home, and I don't have to worry about, any of the people's information that I work with getting out, because the guy upstairs was like listening for people's private information and things like that. And that was something that was very uneasy. And so now, I don't have to worry about that. I can work from home easily and it not be a bother. So, I mean, for me, I think it's been a really big, big improvement for us and things like that for what we're able to do. And I'm not going to say a month is like going to tell everything what's going to happen, but I think it's been really great in my opinion with like those particular things that have improved for us in a house, which is really great. Do we like the payment of a rent being more? No, but when I balance that with the quiet, then I'm willing to pay for it. So I guess anyone can tell you his side of what he thinks.
Let's see. Let's start with things that's improved.
Anybody stalking?
No stalking. There's not anybody that waits outside in the car for like 4 hours outside of our place anymore. But after I just said that, they probably will be now because that always happens.
So basically when we first got here, the first night we got here, there were these people, actually not even when we got here. We came to look at the place, this house, just to check it out for a couple hours the day before we moved in, and then we saw these people drive up in this like Toyota Camry, sit in the car, and they were sitting in the car for hours on end and things like that. It has improved where we don't see the people because we kind of dealt with the situation up front. Instead of just letting the people do that, we just headed it off with, what did we do?
Call the police. First, we told our real estate person that was taking care of the apartment for the person. I mean, for this house, for the person that is living the landlord that's way in Seattle. So, told her. She said she had the same problem, and she solved it by just calling the police. I was like, okay, but I was afraid they was gonna say the same bullcrap to us.
Within
the apartment. Oh well, we can't do anything because of their pedophilia. because of their
Sexual
there's
orientation.
pedophilia, sexual orientation, and homosexual sexual orientation, and we can't do anything because they live in an apartment and they're mental and all that bull crap. But they didn't actually come up to the door. They just they handled the situation. Then they sat there for more time. Then they finally left. Then they came back, did it a couple more times, and then they started going in front of the supposed person's house that they said their mom lived at. Then they started parking in front of her actual house, and then they left and they've been gone. They've been leaving, so I don't know what happened to them, but they haven't been around too often. At least maybe I haven't paid attention enough, or I haven't been looking out the window as much as I used to.
Yeah, I've been kind of looking out, and I haven't seen the people. The thing that I want to kind of stress to you guys is that one thing is that for us, seeing something like that where people are just gonna happen up and start trying to do this, like trying to be outside our house and stuff like that. We weren't going to be going through that kind of stuff when we first got to this house, so that's not something we wanted to do. Also, the reason why I told Anwan it was a good idea to call the police was that Anwan told me that the people drove down the alley and was looking through our backyard, and they did it a couple of times. And I was like, that's really weird. We're not going to be having people stalking us and stuff like that. We're going to put a stop to it. And we actually, like you said, called the police. But first we talked to the lady that's like the realtor, that's standing in for the landlord and everything like that. And, I was really glad that she really understood what we was talking about and was somebody that understood. And I was like really happy about that. And we haven't seen them, which is good. And it just gives us kind of peace of mind, because if somebody's doing something out of the ordinary and they're driving, to look in our backyard and things, that's not comfortable. And if you guys see anybody doing that to you, starting off with you get somewhere, you have to put a stop to it at first. Don't let people continue doing stuff, because the more they're able to do stuff, the more comfortable they get. And you never know, they might try to break in or do any other types of things. And we have experience with that with the apartments we've been in. So it's always best, in my opinion, to cut stuff off ahead of time, so you don't have that issue with people stalking you and stuff like that.
Another thing that's changed is I'm able to use the blender now without any fear. I can make ice creams, smoothies with some Oreo and bacon for her. Another thing that's changed is she's willing to play Skylanders Imagineers with me now more often on the PS4. But we'll play it at night, and then she'll play it until she gets tired. So that makes something stay the same, which is the frequency of our intimacy, basically. That's still the same.
So we can talk. So for the intimacy, that's not really the same, because we don't have anybody kind of doing that. So the last time we were intimate was about 2 days ago. So it's not. Actually, no, it's about. Tomorrow will be 2 days.
I'm saying frequency of spaced out. Like, let's say, this is what I mean. It's changed and not changed. For instance, what's changed is our intimacy throughout the day. Our kissing and our hugs and running around. Like, that's the spicy stuff. To keeping it spicy. That's what I'm very happy has changed. That I can do that, run around, pick her up, throw her in the bed, pick her up, do some crazy stuff. Just, I like doing those things, and those things make me happy. Mm-hmm. And I'm able to do those things without her being frustrated and stuff like that because of the guy. And I'm able to express myself more that way. But as far as grown up stuff, actual intercourse, actual oral stuff like that, I'm still having a hard time. I mean, it's only a month later, okay? So that's still the frequency of that and the experimentation of that area is still very spaced out for me.
Well,
it's just that at least we don't have to stop in the middle and be like, that's what's changed. When it does happen, we don't have to stop because of the dude upstairs or people walking by or people listening. That's what has changed. Okay.
Well, I mean, I think with I think with the intimacy, I mean, I think it is. Well, I don't know. I think
Yeah, I think that's about right. Some stuff's changed and some stuff's
some
stay the
stuff
same.
has and some stuff hasn't. I mean, I think with with anything, like, and I can describe this so for people watching. So for me, I'm working from home at this point, so it's kind of weird for me to have work at home, due to this whole virus thing, everything. So it's one of those things where, like, I feel like I get more tired from working, being at home, because it's like the stress is at home as opposed to being at work. And I don't know how to really describe it as much, but it's like really weird because I'm basically stuck in the room for like 8 hours with the exception of a break. And so it's kind of one of those things where I'm one of those people, I like to separate work and home and then be separate. But that's not the case. What are you smiling for?
It's true.
You
I like
know,
to do the same thing.
so for me, that's a big thing. And I think that it's one of those things, like, I think it's okay for me. For him, I'm starting to try to do stuff and work stuff in. But, I do what I can do, because there's some days where I'm so tired that I just pass out to sleep because I'm tired from work and stuff like that, and I'll eat and everything. And I kind of feel justified in doing it personally, because I think for me, if I'm tired and I want to sleep, that's just my thing. Weekends, yeah, I'm more likely to like want to do stuff and be excited about doing stuff, and I think that's okay.
And that's what I be counting on. See, I be counting on the weekends. So if a weekend slips by and it's kind of like, it's a whole, I leave it alone. I don't really. I mean, I'll like do my regular thing of being physical because I am, but I'm not looking for sex or nothing. I'll grab her boobies or rub her booty, stuff like that, and want to be cuddly up next to her, be warm. And I'm fine with that during weekdays. She's tired. I'm not asking for nothing. I know that for her on weekends. So if a weekend goes by, I gotta wait a whole another 5 days and wait for another Saturday and Sunday again.
Yeah, I mean, for you, so for him, his, pace of things is different than mine. My pace is not as much, and for me, it's not, and it's difference in paces, you know what I'm saying?
Nonetheless, like I said, there's been improvements.
Well, I mean, there's been improvements.
But then again, remember, this is only a month out, and I'm not expecting anything huge until about maybe 5 months.
Well, here's the thing too. So like I said, I'm working. Am I gonna be automatic freak in a month? Like, I don't think I'm gonna do that.
Even I'm not like that. Shoot,
I'm
about
not
every 2 or
gonna
3
really do
days.
that. So that's not really my thing. I kind of think for me that I think for me, I'm okay with doing what I'm okay with. And it's one of those things where, like, and one difference from the apartment right now is that between us, it's kind of like right now, like in the apartment, we're both working. Right now, we're both not working.
Right.
One person's the breadwinner, one person's like, doing most of the stuff. And so because of that, then it's kind of like one of those things, like, to me, it makes me feel like, well, if I'm providing most of the support, then I have a right to do kind of what I want to do. So if I want to walk around, butt naked or do whatever I want to do, I can do, or whatever, and everybody has a different pace to it. You know what I'm saying? For him, it might be different where he's wanting me to be a whole bunch of things. So he's wanting me to match what he's doing and stuff like that. And I have to I can grow into doing it, because we haven't like established a schedule or whatever and stuff. We haven't really done much of that, but yeah, I would say I'm more excited to do things on the weekends and stuff after I've been able to sleep and stuff, because during the week, I can't really think about that, because during the day, my time is scheduled by my job. So I don't have time to really do a whole bunch of stuff. I have to, take my break, which goes by quickly.
That's where I jump in. That's where I jump in with trying to make sure, lunch is good. I make her breakfast. She don't got to worry about that. And I make sure the dishes are washed. I make sure I clean the house. I make sure I fucking I make sure I wash the clothes. Sure, I just recently washed these sheets on the blanket and stuff like that. So I make sure that I keep it. I keep her not having to do those things, those mundane house upkeep things. So I do that. You know what I'm saying? So that way, that helps her not to be overly even extra tired. You know what I'm saying? That's where she has the energy to at least play the game with me on Skylanders Imagineers on my PS4 at least. You know what I'm saying? So we get some time, some little time together and things like that.
I mean, the thing is that I think things are improving. You know, I think it is, and you know, am I perfect on the, like I said, drive? Am I like that? No, and I don't think I've kind of ever been on the same thing. But you know, that's why I kind of try to be more like, when he wants to kiss or he wants to hug, that's when I'm trying to be more receptive, as opposed to being like, no, get off me, you know, type of thing, you know, because I'm trying to be more receptive. So, whereas we're not doing as much, you know, inside the, you know, bedroom as much as anything like that, I'm trying to be more supportive throughout the day, at least, because I'm realizing, well, you know, I can at least try to be supportive, you know, during the day, you know. Do I have to? Well, no. But I think it's something that helps him a bit so that he feels, you know, better about things, you know. And that's something that I try to do.
Nobody's, just to let y'all know, even if y'all in a relationship, you know, you're not obligated to do nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's, they like you or they don't. Either they care for you or they don't. Or they're a match for you or they're not. Well, you know what I'm saying? You just gotta,
yeah, I mean,
you gotta, you know, you have to come to terms with what you can accept. If it gets to a point where you find out they're not somebody you can be with anymore, okay. You know, but if it's something you can work around or you can accept this, you know, but if you start to see that fail a lot, you know, what you can accept, then you're going to have to start making your choices. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But no, no one is obligated to, you're not obligated to cook. You're not obligated to clean. You're not obligated to fucking make money. You're not obligated to babysit. You're not obligated to have sex. You're not. You know, it's either going to come from you on the inside of how you truly feel, so it's natural, or it ain't.
And that's true. I mean,
it's just being grown about things. Sometimes, you never heard of that saying, growing apart. That's kind of how it can happen.
Well, you know, I think.
Or you might grow closer. Just depends on the circumstances. Well, in an apartment, we was growing apart like a motherfucker. But in the house, I feel a bit closer.
I think that, and this is, some people might be on different sides of the spectrum. And I don't know whether it's going to be guys, girls watching this video. I really don't know. But everybody kind of has their different view in their relationship about what they feel like the other person should be doing. So there might be some guys who feel like, hearing that, you know, that I'm providing the support, there are some guys may feel some type of way about that, like, well, no, she shouldn't have to do that. You know, she should be, you know, she shouldn't be doing that. She should be doing housework and other stuff. And, you know, they might feel like Anne should be doing the working and all that stuff, you know. Or there might be the flip side, you know, with some people, with girls, you know, where they feel like, you know, they okay with being, you know what I'm saying, support and stuff, and a guy doing, you know, around the house and stuff, and everybody got like a different opinion.
And make no mistake, we've switched. I've been a breadwinner at one point. She's been a breadwinner at another point. I've switched, but I mean, even when I was, I still made sure she was freaking good. Are you kidding me? I still came freaking home after work, 2 jobs, cooked and freaking vacuumed, cleaned and everything. I was on my shit. I still was. I mean, I'm on my shit a lot more. I mean, well, still now. I mean, I got the time. Well, you know what I'm saying?
I think everybody has kind of a different definition of, I don't know. I think people have a different, like, definition. Like, for me, coming from, and I want to mean this in, like, the best of ways, but, like, to me, and you guys might maybe see it like, some way, but to me, I grew up, and my emphasis in my family was on money, because we didn't have a lot. So, because of that, my thing, the way I feel that I show love most of the time, is through paying for things and making sure shit's on, like the lights are on, different things, because there's periods in my life where I went where I didn't have stuff. So for me, showing love is making sure that you good and you got stuff. So if you want to eat a certain thing, or if you're, you know, you want a certain game, or you want a certain whatever, you know what I'm saying, and I'm sure I can do something to make it happy or something like that, then that's something I'm willing to like go through and do.
And that's something that is true. She's done that with certain games and stuff like I wanted, even downloadable content, DLCs like that, like for my Spider-Man or something like that. And food, like it'd be expensive. Them over be like $40 sometimes, and I'm like, damn, baby, are you sure you want to do this? Are you sure you want to? She's like, oh, it's okay, baby, I got it. And that's true. Well, that's how she expressed it.
And I've grown with that kind of mindset. I mean, I feel like because I'm working and I'm making the money, I feel like I should be able to have certain things. And for me, it comes more so because of that upbringing, but also because like, and I'm changing too. So like, for a lot of people, they may not understand, but the topic of losing a parent. So for me, that happened to me with my mom, and so that makes it so that like I've started to look at things in a certain way and value doing things while I have the resources to do it. Because to me, I'm like, well, damn, if I'm missing out on stuff, and I want to do stuff, I should go out and do stuff that I want to do, and eat the kind of food I want to eat or whatever. Because I mean, you don't know, nobody in theory knows how long they'll live. So it's one of those things to me that I want to go and do things and experience things, and at least try to enjoy. I don't enjoy a lot because for me, I don't know how necessarily to chill out or do stuff. And people might say that's really odd, but I really don't, because I grew up where I was always having to sit and think about stuff and move from one situation to another. So it's one of those things where like, my thing is that if somebody's caring for you and you good, that's cool. Whereas he puts like a high priority on like physical. Me, I don't as much because I've kind of gone through that thing where like I'm always kind of anticipating like the next challenge and the next thing coming up, where like our last apartment with apartment 16, whereas he was trying to, where he was upset and ready to fight the people, me, I had to be the one where I was like, you know what, okay, let's step back, what I'm saying, let's try to find a way out of this type of thing, you know what I'm saying? So that's one of the things that I found that I had to kind of do, is to try to, yeah, I was stressed, of course, but my point was that to find a way out of it, because if he got in a fight with somebody, we wouldn't be where we are now. You get what I'm saying? So sometimes you need to have somebody who's like, in a situation. And because I've gone through stress and stuff like that, it's one of those things like, I can deal with it and handle it, but I have to learn how to manage it better, and stuff, which, I mean, counseling for us, which helps. But I think that like, with your relationship, you really learn a lot when you're with somebody for years. You really learn, I mean, through the things you go through, you do. Like he said, he went through being a breadwinner. Me, I'm, breadwinner at this point. But, like, my thing is like, I'm thinking of it as, in your relationship, you could switch. You know what I'm saying? And you could feel like, okay, well, if I'm the breadwinner, I'm doing these things, then, I have the right to do certain things that I want to do. If I want to do it, if I don't want to do that, I don't have to. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to do that.
But here's the point, everybody. Whether you're making money or not, you have that. You should be having the ability to rather do something or not do something. It shouldn't be you doing stuff that you don't want to do. You know what I'm saying? That's whether you're making the money or whether when you're not. It's what it shouldn't be. Okay, y'all shouldn't be in a position or feel like you're in a position where I'm not making the money, so I can't say this and I can't say that and I can't feel like this. Wrong.
Well, a person
when
can
you
say,
can say, "Oh, I'm making the money," so I feel like I can say this and say that. But the thing is that if you need to be comfortable enough in your relationship in the first place to say what you need to be saying in the first place.
Yeah, I mean, you should. I think that you can. I think the thing is that if you're not making as much money, because I was in the state where I wasn't making as much money or anything like that. But then again, I was still, I still think I was like contributing still, because I mean, the thing was is that when it came to our apartments and shit, when it came to that, most of the time when it came to it, people wasn't really as worried about him as much as they was worried about me, because they kind of knew when it came to me, you know what I'm saying, that I wasn't, like he knows certain things, you know what I'm saying, but more so people were more so concerned about me and shit like that, because then people knew that, you know what I'm saying, I wasn't, like, I'm one of the people that I'm kind of that business mind and shit like that. So there are certain things that I'm looking at and seeing that maybe he doesn't see, but I see, and I'm, on top of stuff because I know certain things and stuff. And I think, like, either way, like, whether I didn't have any money or not, and if he made a lot of money or something like that, if he did that, or we was both making a bunch of money, I think that's cool. Either way, or if I didn't make as much money or something. Because right now, I wish I had my free time.
Now, to be honest, I wish I knew how and like where to start, and I wish I knew a guaranteed way that I can start from somewhere and then get there, because I would do it. But just you're not taught what you're not taught, and you don't know what you don't know. And when it comes to the traumas, okay, my trauma makes me act a certain way. Her trauma makes her act a certain way. That being for me, protection all the time. I'm always watching out for an abuser. I don't think anyone is freaking innocent. Okay? In no way it's peaceful. It ain't peaceful. Somebody's up to something, and it's probably against us. Okay? I'm that. I gotta protect. Her, it's more the poverty thing. So it's lights, gas, food, stuff like that. And for me, I feel like I'm loving her because I feel like I'm protecting her because I had a sister, which I didn't have the strength to protect when I was young. So I feel like I'm protecting you. Why is that not being reciprocated good? Like I would expect it to be with my sister, who I failed to protect when I was little, who I can protect now. So it's kind of like that trauma. I'm trying to protect her and wanting her to feel that as me caring about her and me loving her and stuff like that. So that's just like her. She's trying to, when she's paying for the stuff and she's the breadwinner at the time and she's actually paying for the stuff, she's just expecting me to feel that, as love and everything. And believe me, I be appreciating. And I be telling her, but for some reason, somehow during conversations, it's kind of like she can't feel it if I say it. So I don't really our love languages are so different. It's kind of I can't really express it in the way that she needs me to. So I kind of learn.
They are. I mean, I think that, I don't know. Like, with people, and I was just thinking about this, if people have the same love language, is that going to, be good if they're, the same thing or something? And it might, maybe. I don't know, because I'm just kind of thinking about it right now, if you have the same thing. And for me, I'm probably one of those people, I'm more of a communication type of person. You know what I'm saying? And things, to me, that's what I think.
We'll just... Is there anything we want to...
Yeah, we got to merge it, though.
Oh, I guess I'll merge it. Damn.
Yeah. I think that either way, I think it's kind of good that we have the differences we have, because in different situations where I would say, there are situations where I don't know what to do with stuff and he does, or where he doesn't know what to do and I know what to do, and so, to a degree, there will be times where, anyone kind of likes to kind of keep some stuff. He's more likely to keep to himself until he has to tell me, and then if he tells me, it's a problem. You know what I'm saying? And Anwan's he's more cool and collected, right, about stuff. Me, I'm more likely to be more upfront about stuff. If something bothers him, then I have to kind of step in and do stuff. Because if somebody pisses Anwan off, for example, then more likely than not, he's not really going to say nothing. But me, I'm the type of person that I'll say something to somebody. Like, for example, today. So, there was this white lady that was at the post office today. So, Anwan had something to pick up at the post office. This white lady was over here. So, what happened, she was there, this old white lady, this older black dude was there, okay? And what happened is, me and NY came in, and so this black dude, he was dropping off a bunch of packages and stuff for, I don't know, for somebody's business or whatever. The white lady was telling him, oh, you can go ahead and go up there or whatever, right? And then, and the guy said, after he dropped the stuff off, he said he was picking up mail. I told Anwan, I said, go ahead and go over there and get the mail and stuff, because you're picking up mail and stuff, because there was some supposed to come that didn't come yesterday, okay? So, then this lady over here, she's over here, like, runs up there to pay for postage for her, whatever the hell she was sending off and shit, right? So, the lady kind of pissed me off because she was over here saying to the lady at the post office, oh, well, I'm so glad you're an essential worker and this and that, whatever, blah, 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 right? And I'm like, well, I'm an essential worker. I actually am. If I wasn't in my job, there's a lot of people that will probably be unhappy, okay, because of the kind of job that I have, because I have to deal with people and assure them about certain things so that they're okay. You know what I'm saying? And some of these people, I would say, are more important than others, and so money-wise, they are, okay? So the more important they are money-wise, then the more likely I have to be to assure these people that they're okay. You get what I'm saying? So, with my job, it is essential, because if I wasn't in my job and doing my job, then I would say that a lot of people wouldn't be taken care of, like how I take care of people. You know what I'm saying? So it's really different. But the way the lady was, like, white lady was all being loud and saying she was an essential worker, glad she was working. I'm like, well, bitch, you don't even know. I'm like, I'm an essential worker myself. You know what I'm saying? And you over here saying she's an essential worker and stuff, and you're just basing it off of certain.
All because she asked for the manager, and that's how it all started.
Yeah, because I asked for the manager because his delivery did not come, and there was no proof of it, of anything. I was worried stuff was stolen. You know what I'm saying? So, as a matter of fact, so after the white lady left, whatever, then what happened is the manager did have to get involved in order for him to get his package. So either way, it had to involve the person who was manager, right? Either way, it did. So whether or not, and I don't know if she felt like I was, being a certain way or not, I don't give a damn what she thought. You know what I'm saying? And I said she was fake on the way out the door too. So either way, I'm more likely to say something. You know what I mean? Because sometimes people need to hear shit. They need to hear certain things so they know that you know. And people don't expect me to say that. Whereas he's quiet, I'm not. You know what I'm saying? So, I call people out on this shit. You know what I'm saying? Because you have to. I don't care. I hope she don't live on my street. That's what I told him. And one, I was like, I hope she don't live on our street and shit, because I ain't want to see her ugly ass. Shit. I ain't want to. So, that's how I am. You know what I'm saying? He's quiet. I'm not as much.
That's another thing that's different. I feel more comfortable about having my packages come to the door. But I don't really feel like, I didn't feel that way in an apartment, because too many people is against
Yeah, somebody stole, so when we lived in apartment 1, somebody stole your package.
Mm-hmm.
They used some weights.
It was some lifts, it was some
Weights.
caps. It was called caps. It's caps, dumbbells.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Man, my first package was stolen, man. It sucked.
Yeah, so since then you haven't really done that. And then in that same apartment, it was this Asian lady. Her stuff got stolen
by a bunch of Arabs.
Yeah.
Like there was 30 of them up in there, in that apartment.
I mean, a one-bedroom apartment.
Yeah, 30. Then you can count the pairs of shoes outside. There was 30.
Oh my god! I think we still have a video of that. I think a picture.
Yeah.
But
so that was crazy, and there was just so many. Just her stuff was just gone, and she was like, "Oh my god, that was my medicine." It was this Asian chubby chick, and
her stuff was stolen. Who
knows who got it?
And I think, and that was with apartment 1. On Yale, that was that apartment. But I think like one of the things I would say with the apartment is that, like he said about stalkers. So we actually found out when the day we were moving, and you might have said this last video, we actually found out all the people involved on the day we moved.
It was a big reveal.
Exactly. And that was so weird. Like, it's like when we find, and the thing was, which was great, was that one of the things that we did, which in our apartment, was what Anwan would call misdirection. So, Anwan, what is misdirection?
It's when your enemies is near and you tell them you're going someplace far away, hours away, that you know they're not willing to drive and stalk you at. But
And
really, you might not be.
And also misdirection. So here's what I did. So I knew that we wanted to move out. We were looking for a house and everything like that. We were, it was like, it was above my head with all the BS, okay? What was going on and stuff. So much so he wanted to fight the people and stuff because he felt like that was an effective way, because for Anwan, the easiest way to deal with people that are bullies is to, beat them up and then they won't do it again.
It's always worked. I had 5 different bullies. I've used my wrestling skills on them, and they left me alone forever. I mean, it works.
So for him, that worked. But I found that one of the things that we needed to do was leave. And so when we were looking for a place and things like that, we got approved for this place. And when we got approved for this house, then what happened is that I used the tactic of misdirection, which was saying that we were going to move in June because that's when our lease would be up, okay? Now, we did move before our lease was up, but we had a lot of reasons that we were leaving for because of how dangerous the people were, okay? So, I said, okay, so we're going to move in June, you know what I'm saying? Like, putting that out there. Because I knew the guy upstairs was listening, and then the bald head chick would walk past the door, and the bald head dude was in the next wall right there, and you know what I'm saying, where our living room was or whatever. And he was sitting there listening, you know what I'm saying? And it was ridiculous, type of stuff. So I was just saying, okay, yeah, we're going to move in June, out loud and stuff so they hear that. Well, the great thing is that when we moved, then at the end of March we moved. Then the funny thing was that, like he said, there was a big reveal. So the good, fortunate thing for us is that originally we planned to move on, was it a Saturday? But we ended up moving on a Sunday, okay? So one thing is that the people in our apartment building did not expect us to move, which is something, if you're having trouble with people, don't tell them you're going to move, okay? Because they're going to try to use that as an opportunity to do stuff to you.
And she used misdirection in the apartment, see? In the apartment, we knew that the guy upstairs was listening.
Yeah.
So we kept saying, well, we're going to be moving on a certain, 3 months, 3 different
June.
months out. We're going to be moving way out. We're going to be moving then. And so then, you misdirect them and making them spread the information that you're going to be moving. Misinformation, misdirection, and misinformation.
And you guys might say, well, why is it that we would say that out? Well, because, why would we say we were moving later, Anwan, as opposed to, when we were moving?
Well, so that they can't prepare to do their last, biggest thing to you when you're moving on the real date.
So and that was something that
means
happened.
gathering people, gathering guns, like what happened to us on Yale.
Yeah.
That dude messed with my whole family, and me and my cousin almost got into fights with the person upstairs and everything like that on Yale.
Yeah.
The people, matter of fact, he had a dude roll up with no license plate, ready to hurt, shoot, stab, who knows what, but the police got to both of them in time.
Yeah, and so that's really close to home, real shit. So that's why we used misdirection in this other apartment. And now, of course, we thought this apartment, with 16, we thought apartment 16 was going to be okay. We thought it was going to be fine, but it didn't turn out like that. So that's why I used misdirection. So when we knew we were moving, I told Anwan, and I didn't tell him the date. I mean, I did, but I told him over phone conversations, over texting or something like that, or when me and him were together away from the place. That's when I kind of said things. I didn't say anything in the apartment or anything like that. And also, we also knew because you guys have to realize the guy was following us above our heads to different rooms, listening in and stuff like that, and things. And I'll tell you how heinous this gets. So, what Anwan probably said in another video is that um, the guy upstairs was talking to the bald head chick about our business, okay? And they were outside laughing and stuff, and Anwan actually heard them doing that. And so this is some real shit. So because of that, like he did, he taped up the vents and stuff like that to prevent the guy from hearing. The guy went crazy and ran down the stairs and knocked on the bald head chick's door and shit like that. Told the bald head dude and all that shit. You know, that he wasn't able to hear stuff. He was still able to somehow follow us around, which is kind of bizarre, you know, even though Alan was stepping lightly. But I used the misdirection. Anwan and I were kind of, you know, what was going to happen. So when we got approved, you know, the day we got approved, the dude upstairs, I guess he heard us get all happy and stuff like that, and he started yelling and screaming or something like that. And he didn't know I was happy. You know, he didn't have no idea or whatever. But he didn't know.
He just does his normal. Oh, if you're happy, I'm trying to make you sad, and make you depressed, and make you argue, so I can listen to it.
Yeah, but it was
eat the energy.
Yeah, but then you had that video where the people were laughing and stuff, which was so funny. It was like you were laughing and stuff.
Yeah,
which was cool.
I
don't know what it was
called Contagious Laughter Compilation or something like that on YouTube. Just let it run. You know, on a Bluetooth speaker.
Yeah.
808 speakers is good Bluetooth ones. It's a little, it's small. You can carry it around. Packs a lot of sound. Gets loud. It's awesome.
So, with the misdirection, I'm gonna go back to it. So I told him when we were moving, and I told Anwan, I said, hey, when we get approved for a place, then we're not sleeping here anymore. And not sleeping there, that is what really cut shit off. You know what I'm saying? That's what really stopped a lot of stuff. You know, because if we're not at the apartment, they can't get on our nerves or stalk us or anything like that. You know, so we got approved and stuff. With this whole virus thing, I was able to talk to the lady and, you know, make it so that we can move in early, which I used that to my advantage and things, which was awesome. And it actually worked to get us in here. And we, you know, the people kind of noticed that we were kind of taking stuff out of the apartment, you know what I'm saying? But they didn't really put two and two together because they couldn't see the stuff because we had black trash bags and stuff. But the day we were moving out, we got the big reveal, like Anwan said. So we actually saw all the people involved. So I'll tell you, there was this dude I never seen before. This dude, I think with dreads, that I never seen. You seen him, didn't you? The dude that kept walking back and forth or something. So I never seen him. I didn't know who he was or whatever. But this guy was somehow involved because he kept walking back and forth. He was got smoking a cigarette and stuff with the dreads and stuff, and he was coughing and stuff.
He's on one of the videos where he says nice hat. You know, he's on one of the. I got him before.
So I never seen that guy before, but we saw him. We saw the dude with the baby. We saw him and him with the chick that he's with, and stuff like that. The bald head dude, the bald head chick. That was there. The dude with the Yukon, he was involved also. The bald head dude's chick, I guess she was a part of the thing too. You know.
Another white dude that lived above the white dude with the baby, he was involved.
Yeah, so we basically saw the big reveal and this is what happened, where when we were leaving, we had everything packed up and everything like that, and we was leaving out. And then, you know, everybody came outside, and I was anticipating that the dude upstairs was going to be coming outside at some point too. Because he loves to make his little entrance when the bald head dude and the bald head chick are there, and all his lackeys are there.
But ever since I confronted him and he was by himself, he started gathering the bald head dude and the bald head chick and having them outside first before he goes out there for protection. He started doing that ever since I confronted him by himself.
So I was anticipating he was going to come outside. We did have family helping us move and stuff, which was good, you know, because it had more people. The good thing for us was that they didn't know when we was moving. So the day we was moving stuff out, they didn't know we was moving. We had already had stuff packed up. So Anwan had been like working on the stuff and getting stuff together so we could move and stuff. But basically, we had everything bagged up, everything ready to go. So on the day when it came time for us to move, we was able to move faster than what we did on Yale with apartment 1. So it was different. Okay. So it allowed us to move faster. So it probably took us like maybe 2 hours probably. Took us about like maybe 2 hours to move, but it felt like it was going really fast. The good thing is that in our situation with these people doing what they was doing with the stalking and stuff, it was good we moved fast because everybody kind of lined up, and I guess they were expecting us to do like when we did, or the bald head chick expected us to do it like we did last time, where we had to make 2 trips to move and things. But actually, luckily, my brother came with his truck and everything. We had a U-Haul and stuff. And by the time they all came out, everything was packed up, ready to go. And so when they came outside, we was basically walking away.
Yeah.
We was done. We left the keys there,
The dude upstairs was about to come out. He was just making sure, because we had a lot of people, he was trying to make sure he had a lot of people out there too, to protect him, and just in case anything popped off with my family and him, because he knows that he's evil. He knows all the stuff he did. And so he's having all his goons and all his slaves out there, because I have my family out there. Who knows how much his slaves care about him? Who knows? But my family cares a lot about me, so it's a different kind of fight.
Yeah.
But we left before the slave master came out. So.
Yeah, we left before he came out and things. And we actually drove past the apartment. We actually drove past the building, and what did we see when we drove past recently?
And I saw that the dude in the Yukon everybody was no longer parking in positions to stalk us and see us walking down the street to go into the car. They was all parked on the parking lot in positions where if we was living there, they wouldn't be able to see us where we was going to and fro from the building.
Yeah.
They was parking regularly.
And I didn't see the bald head dude's truck. I didn't see that. Nobody was outside, hanging outside, waiting outside, or nothing like that. Nobody was doing it. Nope. It was like it was like they weren't there. You know what I'm saying? It was like they were trying to pretend like, a certain way. But that doesn't mean that they're not messing with anybody else in the building. Because I think, Anwan, you said that there was a lady that moved in with a baby, and so, you think that she's probably their next victim or something.
Yeah, because she was breastfeeding her. She had her boob out, and the bald head chick with the blonde hair was just looking down at her boobs and stuff like that. While she was going in, while she was feeding the baby, and opened the door for her, she was going in. And I'm like, dang, that's the next target.
And also, before after we moved in, we saw that there were some white people that they were messing with. It was this white lady and this white guy they were messing with and stuff. I think more so the white lady and stuff. But they were messing with them, And so, they were already doing that. But with us, I want you guys to know, we were stalked from the day we moved in, okay, until the day we left, okay? So, it's like everybody was in on it, which is bad, and we didn't know that there was as many people as it was. Like, we really didn't know, until we started, Anwan started seeing people coming together and stuff like that and things and stuff, and I started seeing people doing stuff, and I was just like, what the heck's going on, But, we just kind of learned that apartment living is not for us. House living is better. At least with a house, you got your privacy, and even if you got people next door who's looking at you, you can go in the house and close the door. You know what I'm saying? It ain't something where they're going to be stomping above your head trying to walk past your door and listen to you. So it's not going to be that type of thing. Did you have anything else?
Nope.
Okay. Well, that's our 30-day update for right now and things like that, which is awesome. And
something is different.
Oh yeah.
We don't gotta walk all the way down someplace to go outside and chill. We've got a backyard.
It's
spacious.
Yeah.
We can go out there, set some chairs out, and we feed the birds.
Yeah, that is true. So we do go outside. We can go outside and stuff. There was a nice day. We got to be outside a couple of days. Sit outside our backyard. Now there are people next door that got dogs and stuff and things. We were kind of annoyed with them because every time we was outside, they let their dogs out. But the people they're kind of easing up on it a bit.
Because of the real estate person that helped us get this place also knows them and also got their numbers. So
Yeah.
she contacted them and was like, well, I called City Hall and to see if your dogs are registered and that pit bull is registered and make sure you're following the guidelines. Then they cut that out.
Yeah. I mean, they'll let them out, I've seen sometimes, but, it's not as much. But, you have to be aware and watch out for what people are doing when you first get somewhere. You really do. And sometimes you'll see people that resemble people. Like, there's this lady across the street that has blonde hair. And to Anwan, she reminds him of the bald head chick, kind of.
Now, she didn't at first because her hair was long and blonde. And she was a black chick.
Yeah.
But now she became a bald head chick with blonde hair. So that's stupid. Now, next thing you know, she's gonna be wearing caps and stuff too, and that's gonna just make me not happy. Okay? The dude that's next door to me that has the dogs looks like the dude upstairs. Except he has a truck. And the truck reminds me of the bald head dude. It's like, how are you gonna be a combination of two people? But so far he isn't like that.
Mm-hmm.
I talk to him, and at least he talks, and he seems to be a busy person. He seems to be like doing stuff with recycling machines.
Some people are probably going to ask us, have we heard from our landlord within the time we've been here? We haven't heard from him.
I believe that the COVID-19 protocol is, since they can't ask for rent, bills, and stuff like that, I believe that he's not able to do that, so therefore he's not trying to contact us or anything.
I'm not going to say he's not going to try to do it, later on down the road or something.
I believe in June he will, or even after this month.
In May, you think he's going to try? Yeah, I think he's going to try it.
Because no rent was received.
Yeah, so he didn't get anything.
No, and come on, the electric and all that stuff has to go back in his name because we're not there. So where is the electric going to go back to?
And we left the keys there too. One great thing we did do before we left is I took a video of what the place looked like when we left, and the crazy thing is it basically looks like when we got there. So our apartment was left in good condition, like unlike what other people would do, the blinds be messed up and the handprints and everything all over the place and things bad. But our apartment, we left it and it looked just like it did basically when we moved in, which was the sad part. And it was really sad leaving because it was like, man, we went through 9 months of hell here, and it was a really nice place. It looked really great. And I was kind of sad about it because I was like, man, this is messed up. We didn't even get to enjoy it. And another thing was, we looked out the window, and the tree next to our apartment, like it was a tree, like in our living room area. And when I looked out at the tree, I think it was in the bedroom or something. We looked out, and he looked out the window. The tree was like flowering. It was like really pretty and stuff. And Aaron was like, man, I wish I could have been here to see it like fully bloom and everything and stuff. But I was like, yeah, but maybe where we're going, we're going to get a chance to like see something better, And so I think that was kind of a sign for us to kind of, it was a future for us blossoming and being something different. So, I mean, that's all I have to say with regard to it.
Cool.
We do have to do a review, though. Go ahead.
I was ending it, but never mind. She has some more.
Oh yeah, I was just saying that we're going to be doing. Anwan's going to be putting together a review of our past apartment and everything like that. So he's going to be coming out with that at some point to kind of make people aware of what we went through and different things like that. I think it was like 2 hours or something like that. But yeah, so it's one of those things where it's very important to review a place and to tell other people what it was like, because the place we went to, there was no review. I wish there would have been, but there wasn't. But it's important to put reviews for people in apartments so people know. I didn't even know a place being quiet was a thing, okay? But it is, and people deserve to know the truth about, the place and stuff like that and what it's actually like. But that's all I have to say.
Thanks for watching.